Hello, 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 my YouTube friends. Almost said Facebook friends. Busy day. Welcome to, what is this, our third installment of the Litha summer solstice stuff for June 2020. I am your host, Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, president of DrawingTheCircle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and mother to 3 black cat boys who sometimes do tricks for the brushy brush. This is my Taurus, Melchior. He is my youngest, the ambassador of the first floor. His brothers are upstairs, sacked out in bed, of course, because they are, well, the middle one's only a year older than him, but still, I think there's this huge difference. He's just youthful. He's the only other earth sign in the house aside from me, so we stick together, him and I. Cool. So hello, Nivola. Hello, Mama B. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. Will you lay down? Will you hang out with us? Yes, he will. He's such a good boy. He really, really is. I mean, eventually, someday when I have the money and the time and the tech, I'll have a camera perched up there with a little clip so that it will maybe feature down in the corner, what he's doing. If I can just toggle it on and off, something like that would be cool. My boys, because people make so much money on YouTube just with cat stuff, and my boys it's a never ending well of creativity. Oh, he's going upstairs. All right. Well, I guess he wasn't as interested in the subject as we are, and that's okay. Peas in a box. It's all right. So welcome to our schmooze time. I have quite a lot of stuff on my desk, as you can see, in preparation for tonight's stuff. We've got to talk some astrology, just a touch. Mercury's going retrograde. Oh no, Mercury's going retrograde tomorrow, and and I'm the first to say, planets don't actually go backwards. But still, I know they don't actually go backwards, but astrologically, it does seem to hold some vibrational water there, particularly with billions of people believing in them for thousands of years. That's what you call a group spell, right? So either way, it is what it is. I just got the book on your table. Which book? This book? You got my red book? I just got the book on your table. I don't know which one you mean because I can't see what other book you might be looking at. Unless this? Did you get these? Did you get the Healing Mantra deck? Because otherwise, I don't know how else in the world you could see that I have over here Scott Cunningham's Encyclopedia for Magical Herbs, which I always have handy. Oh, the Matt Kahn book. Gotcha. Oh, this guy. Yeah. The cards are amazing. And because of the subject tonight, surrender, they told me to pull one. Oh, they told me to pull another one too. Right. Because I do, before I do this, I take an hour off beforehand to just do breathing and make sure I look good and get everything ready. But then I do Wim Hof breathing, and sometimes in the extended exhale, they give me little extra things to talk about and things to remember, and hopefully I will be able to do that. I don't know if it was that one, but there was another one of the mantras that they were oh yeah, don't forget that one. So I'm doing my best to not do that. I'll know it when I see it. Expressing free will. My choices determine how brightly I shine. That's the one. Yep. Good. So there's that too. Yes, I'm really digging these cards big time. The Matt Kahn book, the first one that he wrote, Whatever Arises, Love That. Whatever Arises, A-R-I-S-E-S, Whatever Arises, Love That. Really good. Really good. More than halfway through, I think. Taking my time with it. Something that good I don't want to race through. It's very transformative stuff. Really, as I've said it before, I'll say it again. He's a spiritual genius, and his writing is really good. Yeah. Well, so I'm glad you got it. I mean, I'll say that since the moment I got them, the Healing Mantra deck cards, they've really made a huge difference in my life. It's all like anything else. It's to the extent you use them. What if, you know how often I use these mantra cards in readings, right? Not just here in the live streams and stuff, but in actual spreads that I do for, you know, soulmate, whatever. All of them pretty much have a mantra in them because I really like the cards and I like how they heal. But it's always, and we're going to talk about this, your choice, right? It's a throat chakra thing. That's the thing. Will you choose to actually say the mantra? How much time will you put into it? How much effort, how much space will you give yourself to integrate that so that it becomes familiar? It's not that you can do it wrong, and really, to look at it from a place of total perspective, you really can't do it wrong. It's just the mantras, that's, if it doesn't hit you, it doesn't hit you, right? If it's not for you, it's not for you. That's more intuitive. But imagine if you took, for every mantra that either I read or you pull for yourself because you got the deck, what if you said, all right, this is going to be the mantra for the week? 52 cards. That's why you made 52, so it would be one a week for a year. So there, just totally gave that a house in Matt Contour. Blessed be, blessed be. I am glad as a spiritual teacher to share what works for me. I think if we all do that, we'll all get through this together. It's just wait until people ask. Except that's what this channel is for. So I figure if you're showing up, you're asking. Yeah. Yep. Hi, Grace. Hi, sweetheart. Hi. Hi. Well, good. We're getting some people in the room. We have 10 minutes until our 11:11 wish. We'll start with our prayer. We're going to be talking about surrender, the Sabbath of surrender. Surrender your will to the divine. Litha. Summer solstice. It's a lot of SS's in the title. It's what is it? Litha, summer solstice, surrender and the sun. Like evil under the sun, Agatha Christie. So yeah, so I've got some stuff I want to talk about. Obviously, last night we talked about confession and counsel. Tonight it's a little bit of a different direction with all of that. Where I'm really saving for tomorrow night because the moon will be in Gemini. Well, hello there, young man. Wow. Some people just want what they want when they want it. Such an earth sign. I love you, sweetheart. Did you see I just got head bonkied from behind? He's my emoji. Oh, I love him so much. It's because I have a brush up here, that's all. What was I saying before I was so cutely interrupted? Yeah, doesn't matter. We'll get around to it anyway. It'll come around again. Right. Tomorrow, Moon and Gemini. Thank you. Mercy and judgment, the two spheres in the Kabbalistic tree of life. I want to make sure I say the names right of the Hebrew. I want to make sure I get the Hebrew right. It's Gevura and Nesed. I don't remember. There, I gave it a decent shot, but whatever. We'll go into that much more tomorrow about the balance of mercy and justice. And I have ready to release this weekend 3 videos from the Grace Curriculum series, Piety, the Grace of Piety and the Grace of Mercy. So there's an intro, there's a video on the Grace of Piety and a video on the Grace of Mercy. And you got bonked. I did. I got bonked. But also I will be finishing these readings for the new moon to full moon next, probably tomorrow. I'll get them all done. We'll see. I've got 6 left. We'll see how that folds itself out. But also, we've got a busy week ahead of us with this Litha stuff going on, this summer solstice on the way, considering it's also dark moon. I've been talking about that, a lot, because the closest, it's like, it's so, and here's the word, polarizing. It's just the height of the sun at summer solstice with the dark of the moon. Now, there's only one, yes, it is dark of the moon in Gemini, technically, right? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? It will be in Gemini. It'll be, yes, until Litha, summer solstice, when it will go it goes void of no, the moon goes into Cancer 5:44 p.m. And am I seeing this right? And then 4 minutes later it goes void of course. That's weird. This is all Eastern Standard Time. That's weird. I don't know what that means. I mean, I know what it means astrologically. Oh, no, the sun goes into Cancer. I'm sorry. I totally read that wrong. As your eyes get older, the sun goes into Cancer at 5:44 p.m. and then it goes void of course. So the moon will go into Cancer at 2:02 a.m., but then new moon is at 2:41 a.m. So yeah. I mean, that just Saturday just seems like dark moon craziness, if you ask me, for Litha. But there you have it. Yeah. When you say where, you know what I mean? There's just a feeling about it. It's symbolic mostly, but just things are so freaking polarized as it is right now. And this is, yes, on a masculine, feminine, solar, lunar kind of thing, because it's in Cancer, the sign of the moon, the sign of the divine feminine. So it's just very, very interesting. That's the point I want to make. And we are going to go through a dark moon in Gemini, something where the thoughts can really, So we're going to, believe me, I'm going to be doing live streams pretty much every day through this. Just have an odd feeling about this. Going to serve the best that I can. You know me. Going to do that anyway. Right. 4 minutes until our wish. 4 minutes until witchy wish time. It's like Richie Rich, witchy witch. Wishy witch. I want my helmet back. Okay. Ask any mermaid you happen to see. Woo! That made the noise. I wasn't expecting that. Remember, if you're new, it's just water. Oh, and it's heart chakra color. Yay, it's the heart chakra bottle. All of the rest of them are third eye. Or Archangel Michael Cobalt Blue, however you want to see that. Ho'oponopono bottles, but this is my only green one. And the heart chakra water, because we're still in heart chakra for Beltane for a few more days. Moving on up to the third chakra. Yeah, no, I know. With everything else in retrograde, I'm just like, can we not do this right now? But I'm thinking we will talk about that tomorrow if I do a daytime stream. If I do it 11 a.m., 12 hours from now, we may be talking about that. Just because retrogrades, I don't want to say I have an attitude about them, but I have. Come on. Come sit with me. His brothers don't want to play with him. He probably got bopped in the head. Come on. Because he's stubborn too. He's like, play with me. And they're not into it, and they're bigger. There we go. You lay down, sweetheart. Motherhood. Such a joy. Anyway, we're getting inching closer to our 11/11 Make-A-Wish. Yeah, I already know what my wish is. See this candle? This candle's already an embodiment of that wish. I'm not saying what it is, but I got one lit. Oh, we got one lit. So I've got element of air, element of fire, element of water, element of earth. It's just salt. Some mantra cards for spirit. We're going to surrender. We're going to pray. But we're going to talk about surrendering our will and the high power of the sun and how if you're zooming along at 100 miles an hour, it doesn't take much, right? To just move the wheel a little bit. You don't got to do that when you're going 100 miles an hour. You spin out to go with the flow. A lot of that is about going with the flow. It's just, yeah. Very powerful time we're in, especially in terms of our intention and our creativity. Throat chakra, what comes out of our mouth. That's the thing about seeing the chakras as a Rosetta Stone of spirituality. You're able to interconnect a lot of different spiritual systems and practices. And it's like Lego, like interdimensional, multidimensional Lego of spiritual stuff. Get ready, like Make-A-Wish, like 11:11 Make-A-Wish. Good God Almighty. Isn't that right, big boy? I know what I'm wishing for you. I know I'm totally having a clue moment, aren't you? Ready? If I can just do it to me like that. Just American Horror Story, Jewel. Don't freak. Don't freak so hard. As much as you think it was cool, you'd never come back to my channel again. Everybody thinks telekinesis is cool until you actually see it live, and then it's not so cool anymore because it threatens your worldview. 11:11, Make-A-Wish. So I want to be. So it is. Ooh. That was almost a growling cackle. I've said it before. I love being a witch. Let's say prayer, shall we? Everyone, please get yourself in a position that you can stay in comfortably for a couple of minutes. It ain't yoga. We're not going to astral project. We're not going to rebirth. We're not going to past life regress. We're just going to say prayer. Doing what? Surrendering our time spent together to the divine in whatever form you know it as, because the form isn't as important as the content, and the content essentially is unity consciousness and all that jazz. Have a nice deep breath, will you? Breathe. Couple, do yourself a favor. You just hold that inhale for just a split second before you exhale. And give yourself the time to relax, to settle in, the space to relax, to settle in. Look around you. We're probably going to do some breath work tonight with that Gemini moon coming. So make sure you're safe, right? Like physically, that like my feet are firmly planted on the ground. So even if I do get a little lightheaded, I know I can brace myself. I've got my arms on the table. I've got pillows around me. Really, I would have to diagonally fall in a way that would be kind of impossible at the moment. So that you know your body is safe. It sends that message to the subconscious mind. Relax. As I focus on my breath. To relax, to release, to let go. All in the neighborhood of surrender, our topic for tonight. And its correlation to the throat chakra and the sabbat of Litha. So it is from this more relaxed, more still, more centered place I offer this prayer. Dearest God, Goddess, all that is, we surrender this time spent together to you. May it serve your purposes, because we're here only to be truly hopeful. We are only here to represent you who sent us, so we don't have to worry about what to say or what to do, because you who sent us are directing us. We're content to go wherever you wish, knowing that you go along with us and that we will be healed as you teach us to heal. Please show us what you would have us do, where you would have us go, what you would have us say, and to whom, even in this very conversation, that we may heal, that we may grow, that we may become the best that we can be, and that we can understand the true nature of surrender in a way perhaps maybe we never have before, so that we can kind of get that it's not something that we actively do so much as it's something that sort of happens when we have only one option. Help us make the right choices that serve the wisdom and growth in our soul. As a matter of fact, I offer myself as a channel of guidance and grace my angels, my gods, my masters, my higher selves. Choose every word, say it through me. I surrender my will to the divine, which means I surrender my third chakra to the divine. You know the YouTube guidelines better than I do. So keep me monetized. And may tonight's conversation be a blessing upon all who are here live or watching it later. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. May we be so blessed for the well-being of all. Some would it be. And so it is. Oh, thank God for the grace of prayer. I'm so blessed and lucky that I have the grace of prayer. And thank you, Jamie S., for the $2 super chat, super sticker, whatever those things are called. I will someday learn all this stuff. But you know, when you're working on the fifth chakra and allowing in the fifth dimension and the unity consciousness of it all, it's a little hard to keep all this newly evolving technology and changes all in pace. Someone suggested I get a younger boyfriend who understood it all, and I said, with a look in my eye, you know how I get. I said, thinking of people as things is the root of evil. Starts there. Having a younger boyfriend just to help me with tech stuff, the root of all evil. No matter how hot or willing they may be. So that's my ethics right there for you. So how are you all doing tonight? I set us up for a rather intense evening, perhaps. I mean, keeping in mind that Mercury's about to go retrograde at what, 1 a.m. Like if you're watching this, if you're with me live, right? In a little bit, we will be in Mercury retrograde. Certainly, it'll be retrograde before I go to bed tonight. Moon will go void, of course, at 8:02 a.m. Eastern, and then be in Gemini at 5 p.m. So tomorrow's a long day of void, of course, Moon. So with that, Mercury in its stationing position, that's a good thing that it's void. It might just kind of go by. But once it goes into Gemini, expect things to perk because we are officially in, right? With new moons on Sunday, 1, 2, 3, 3 days before, the 18th, the 19th, the 20th, we are in dark moon. In Gemini, then into Cancer we go. So there you have it. Yeah. Love to you all. May the gods and goddesses bless you all. The same to you, Jamie S. The same to you, the same to you, the same to you. So this is why aligning with the throat chakra right now is kind of key. It's sort of like, how they say it to me? It's sort of like they said, the mystics are always like a step ahead, not leagues ahead of everybody else as we would like to think, but a step ahead. So sort of like how I already had my working from home situation sorted before the world shut down, right? It was just like, oh, well, I had no idea. It's just, there you go, is divine providence, but so that I can provide, right? I'm an aspect of divine providence. With this one, aligning with the Sabbath before it hits gives you a little clarity. So every chakra has a sacred truth, right? That unifies it in this really interesting way with many different spiritual traditions throughout human history. The Chakratic tradition, the Christian tradition, the Jewish tradition, and even the pagan tradition, which is how my part of it linked the 8th chakra, including the 8th chakra system with the 8 sabbats of the pagan wheel of the year, which I live my life by. The sacred truth of the throat chakra is surrender your will to surrender your will to God is how Carolyn Mace teaches it in Anatomy of the Spirit, which is where I learned it from, like, what, 20 plus years ago. Obviously, the Sabbat chakra connection has been part of my work really ever since, my own exploration, that we are the living wheels of the year, right? But I make it surrender your will to the divine because it's gender neutral. It's just easier for pagans than to saying to goddess. What about goddess? It's like, let's just call it the divine and call it a day, shall we? But we have this really weird relationship with surrender, right? Particularly if you've been a good little metaphysician, boy, girl, as you choose to identify yourself, fluid. If you've been, then you know, it's like, I'm going to surrender, right? Do I get my stuff yet? Right? It's surrender is almost being like something we have to do to gain the approval of the divine in some way. Like, once we've surrendered, then you can have you on. It's like, okay, you ate the liver, now you can have your dessert, right? Because how are you going to have your pudding if you haven't eaten your meat, right? So, and that's not what it's about at all, nor is it about this ultra passive, well, I'm just going to be in surrender. 3 years later, just SpongeBob us. Comes out of nowhere, I swear. We are the wheels of the air. We're living with, that's us. That is us. All of our spirituality is in our chakras, and we just project it outwards onto everything, essentially, is what I got from Anatomy of the Spirit, but that's a different story. So we always have the opportunity, no matter where we are, to develop these chakras, right? It's just that at certain points in nature, certain points in the cycle, I find more opportune. So, so for example, throat chakra is about choice, right? What do you say? What don't you say? There are so many things that we know if we say them, not great, right? The deadly sin of gluttony in the throat chakra, saying the same words over and over and over and over and over, and not in the healthiest way, right? Negative self-talk, gossip, that kind of thing, those repetitive patterns. We keep making the same choice over and over and over and over, where counsel, the grace of counsel, is the sacred balance of that. Well, what makes the shift from lead to gold there? It is choice, willpower. To surrender your will to the divine means to surrender your choice to the divine. And I know that sounds passive, but if you think about it, it's not yin, it's yang. It's you are surrendering, giving over your will, not to something literally outside of yourself, but you get the motion of it. It's like, I surrender my will to the divine is an action. It's not passive, because what you're really saying is use me, right? That's what surrendering to the will, your will to the divine means. I've talked about it before. Matt Kahn has a video on his channel, the most important spiritual decision you'll ever make, or something like that, where he has this repeat after me thing, work through me, and I wrote it down. I just like kept hitting the mouse to write it down because it was really good. I allowed the light of the universe to work through me to bring to life my most fulfilling reality for the well-being of all that I am now, and so it is. That's how I start my days, pretty much. I mean, I've memorized it. Then at the end of the day, I am so thankful and grateful the universe has worked through me, bringing to life my most fulfilling reality, whether I see it or not, whether it matches the desires of the ego for the well-being of all that I am now. He said, you say the first one in the morning, you say the last one before you go to bed, all is good. But then, of course, him being a teacher, he extrapolated in some different ways. I call upon the universe to work through me, to love myself unconditionally on my behalf for the well-being of all that I am now, and so it is. Go watch it on his YouTube channel, literally, Matt Kahn, All for Love. I'm pretty sure it's that the one most important spiritual decision you'll ever make, or something like that. Oh, here's you know me with fill in the blanks. Give me a blank to fill in. I accept that I don't know how to fill in the blank, so I call upon the universe to work through me and do it on my behalf for the well-being of all that I am now. Now, I know that sounds a little passive, but really, you're not saying do it on my behalf. Like, I'm just going to, like, sit here. And just let me know when you're ready. I did drink. No, it's saying work through me, use me. I mean, that's like Oprah's prayer, right? Did she say use? I'm sure someone else thought of it before her, but I heard Oprah say it, so I'm not screwing with Oprah, man. There are certain people in this world I know that just love them from afar. Yeah. So another one that's on here, and this is one you've heard me pull from here and there every now and again. I call on the universe to work through me, to speak through me, to say every word, to make every choice, to orchestrate every action, to manifest every outcome aligned with my soul's high wisdom and reality for the well-being of all that I am now. And so it is. It's just, that's what we're talking about here, because we're looking at Litha, summer solstice, the brightest day, all of that yang. If you look at the sun, S-U-N, as God, Apollo, oh, name your solar deity. There are so many of them. This is at his peak. This is at his coronation as he becomes king. God is king at summer solstice, and then he will begin his decline in the second half of the year. It's a time of very, very high power. So look at the throat chakra with choice. One word could change everything. That's what I mean. Spit, swallow, or chew. What are you going to do? Now let's talk, if you don't mind. I know it's a little, sounds like something I would say, but sometimes you're supposed to spit out the truth. Sometimes you're just supposed to speak it, right? The reason why we don't is because sometimes we're not always supposed to, but that when that truth, life moves at the speed that we metabolize truth, right? So you can have a truth orbit in your system for a really long time and you never fully digest it because you never really fully let it penetrate, right? But that's when, you know, sometimes you just got to, you spit out the truth. You just say, this is what it is, right? And everything changes. Sometimes it's, no, that's for me. And that is the right thing. Like when you have, let's say not a judgment point blank. We'll talk about judgment and mercy tomorrow night. But let's say you get a feeling about something, like someone's lying. You know, you just get that feeling and it's right here. What do you call it? It's stuck in your craw. Right? It's like right here. That one's like, we save that for later. Right? That's swallow. But then there are times, and this is what I think the majority of our lives have been, particularly lately, and it's chew. There is another option. We'll get there. But chew is when you got it. It's a jagged little pill, right? It feels so good. Swimming in your stomach. You know, you got to chew off the edges. Like when someone says, what do you think? Tell me the absolute truth. And you're like, the absolute truth? Let me chew some of those razor sharp edges off of that. You don't want me to give you, you don't want me to give you absolute truth. You sure about that? I'm a Virgo. I'm verbal. Watch out. And I just got head bunkied from behind again. Hey, buddy. Come here. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. He just wants some attention. He doesn't. A little distracting, but there you have it. Totally derailed. Never work with animals or children. But what are you going to do when the animals are your children? So you sort of get the idea. The surrender I'm talking about, think about how your lives, we've been locked down. We've been in prayer. We've been in meditation. We've been watching the news. We've been getting used to this new world. And we have the opportunity to be completely remade into something magnificent in this new world, right? And of course we don't know what that looks like. Of course we don't know how to get there. We are in the zone of overlap between two very different worlds. And that's why in the practice tonight, we're gonna do some breath work. We're gonna do some breath work because that is something that you can make a choice about, your pattern of breath. That is something that you can surrender your will to the divine. And that's going to be a good part of the mantra work tonight as we do it in the breath work. I surrender my will to the divine, and start thinking about if you want to say, I surrender my will to the God. I surrender my will to the goddess. I surrender my will to universal love. Fill in the blank. You know, I don't care. I'm a fifth dimensional eclectic witch. Oh, is that what I am now? I'm a fifth dimensional eclectic witch, darling. And I just think that's stunning. How could I not forget that scares the cats? I'm sorry, sweetheart. Ooh, upstairs, it's like a magic wand. Keep that in mind. Keep that handy. So, we can sort of look at surrender that way. That surrendering my will to the divine. I have spit, I have swallow, I have chew, but then I also have that, and thy will be done. Use me. I like that better because I have a very good relationship with my pantheons of the divine, my angels, the gods, the masters, and all of that. So, like, there's this thing called aspecting in the craft, in witchcraft. Maybe not something every pagan does, but it's something certainly witches can do if they are mystical and are inclined to do such a thing, where it's not so much time sharing your body for a divine being, because you are a divine being, as much as their aspect of the unity of the divine comes and kind of hangs out in you, with you, in you, because it's all one kind of sort of dealio. I went through that training, you see. It's part of being a high priest, essentially. At least it was how I was trained. Yeah. We'll get there. So to be able to bring that is an act of surrender, is what I'm saying. That there, it's all surrendering your will to the divine. Let's see. Does anyone else struggle with the words? My head understands, but this is the fire that. But these is the fire that. Sorry, I'm looking at it one eye. I'm giving you the Popeye. Just looking to see. She's struggling with words. Does anyone else struggle with the words? Well, honestly, I rarely struggle with words because they come from them. But that's why my spiritual practice, I gotta say, is not all verbal. That's why the breath work. That's why the silence, because it's too easy to just keep it in the third eye. But that's me. To each their own, right? There is this fire. Okay. There is this fire. Surrendering my will. You can feel her typing. Trying to find the words. I get it. I get it. I'm here. I'm listening. Yeah. It's hard for, well, okay. So, of course, it's hard for you to do. This is why it's a process of spiritual awakening, not a weekend workshop. It's not a once and done. Like brushing your teeth, it's not a once and done. It is a choice. Now, there's so many different ways I could go into this, but this is why really you could simplify all of this by saying, all I have to do is perpetually choose love, because that's what surrendering your will to the divine is. You're surrendering your will to love, and then that simultaneously removes all your options so that you have no more choices and you have no more decisions, because you've made your decision. I've decided for God or goddess or love or higher power. And it is very much that bit that I read here. Oh, sorry, lost the page. I call on the universe to work through me, to speak through me, to say every word, to make every choice, to orchestrate every outcome, to manifest every outcome aligned with my soul's high wisdom and reality, means that there is a choice there to trust that then anything that happens is for your betterment, whether you like it or not. That's surrender to the divine. That's the macro surrender. Then go ahead. If I need to be devastated, I guess I need to be devastated. Take away everything. Strip me clean. See, I've been through it. This is why, you know, people are like, you should date younger guys. I'm like, unless they've been to hell and back a few times, like unless they have the River Styx speed pass, I just don't know. I don't know that we're going to understand each other on a certain level. But the divine has reduced me to ash and reconstituted me so many times that, like, dark night of the soul, anybody who thinks that's a 12-hour process, they really need to have another look at things. No, I went through dark night after dark night after dark night. Granted, I'm a mystic, it comes with, but to trust at this point, even having gone through all of that, I really don't have that many options, because I chose to, if you want to keep it in a colloquial way, whatever arises, love that. Within myself, within the world, I don't have to like it. I don't have to like something to love something. I don't have to agree with somebody to love them. And particularly if I'm empathically feeling their pain and understand where they're coming from, even if I don't understand where they're coming from. What would love do? That's surrender your will to the divine. What would love do? What would honor do? What would courage do? This is living a life of mastery. This is living as an awakened angel. And, you know, I don't talk about the angel stuff as much as I used to, because I much prefer the pointed hat to the halo. But unfortunately, I'm kind of both of those things. I am the Mark Angelo of Lyons, and I am the the purple-haired witch of Holbrook. I am that as well. I am multidimensional. I have no fear of flying. I am Mark Angelo. Hear me roar. Meow. Yeah, you with me? Surrender is very universal, right? And you will come across it in Buddhist, in Vedic, in Christian, in Jewish, in Muslim, and you know that it's the part of allowing the divine to do what it's going to do, essentially to get out of the way. But what I'm learning is that everything that we go through is the way, right? Like, we are the way. The divine wanted to be us. I know that sounds egotistical, but think about it. The unified field, the subatomic particle, the quark, where the spirit of the whole, the Holy Spirit, the individual, the unity, the great being, wanted to be you, because you're here. Duh. Right? Like, wanted to be the one seeing through a unique set of parameters and circumstances and beliefs and thought forms, and it just thinks all of this is lovely because it knows the truth that we are all one, and that there is no birth and there is no death, and we're all eternal oneness, experiencing itself as millions and billions, including our personalities, right? So when I'm saying surrender your will to the divine as a perpetual choice, I guess it depends on what you consider the divine. I'm a mystic. I have chosen, although it never felt like one big choice, it felt more like I was sort of born this way, to want to immerse myself in the love of God. It's just a thing with me that through prayer and meditation and spiritual practice, and sometimes intimate union with others, whether in a spiritual congregational context or one-on-one in the bedroom, I have had amazing experiences of unity and intimacy with the divine. But that doesn't come from control. It's surrender your will to the divine that gets you those experiences. And by the way, they're experiences. They're not the be-all end-all. They're part of the journey, not what the journey's all about. Hey, Dawn. Which is why I also think tonight, before we do we're going to do some Wim Hof breathing. You'll love that, Dawn. And we're going to work some mantra work into this silently, so that while you are breathing, I'll explain the breath pattern before we do it. We'll talk about the precautions. I always say, please make sure you don't try to keep up with me. You do what's right for you. But the two mantras we're going to be working with, aside from any others that come through, like I surrender my will to the divine is definitely a mantra we're going to do silently tonight. But welcoming surrender, there is no problem, only destiny being revealed, which is a great card. There is no problem. The card isn't, this mantra isn't about making yourself surrender. It's about welcoming surrender. It's exactly what it's called. There's no problem, only destiny being revealed. That's what allows you to relax enough to welcome surrender, in my experience. And the other one, expressing free will. My choices determine how brightly I shine. Expressing free will. Cool. So I've got those on the table. I'm going to get this out of the way. There. Put you there. Oh, we don't need you anymore. You can go there. God, I'm such a Virgo tonight. But you love me for it. Good, good, good. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. So many people come to the word surrender. I mean, it's got such heavy religious overtones. But to me, even psychological surrender, here's a perfect example, spell work. It's what you release returns to you, right? It's not what you psychologically cling to like Velcro. That there's a lot of psychological release in spell work, right? To take a problem, put it in a rock, drop the rock in a river, right? Or huck it into the ocean or something. Just heal this, take this up. That psychological release part of it, it's all part of surrender. The grace of humility, the maiden grace, please grant me the maiden grace of humility to know that I do not know, though I am willing to be shown. That's surrender. That's saying I know that I don't know because I don't. It's okay that we don't know, people. It's okay. It's okay to know that you don't know. I know it seems like the worst punishment in the world, but that's what the grace of humility does. It is the shield that guards you from humiliation, because when you know that you don't know what's next or in the divine plan or what to do next, you surrender your will to the divine. You say, then show me. Then show me. Show me what you would have me do, where you'd have me go, what you'd have me say it to whom. Y'all been saying it for months on this channel. It's from Course in Miracles. I am such an eclectic witch. I will take whatever works and weave the sucker in, braid those threads into the embroidery of it all. Little Jim Carrey in there for you too. He's the hottest man on earth. All spiritual and rubber-faced and cute and funny. Yeah, I do. Anyway, he's probably married. They all are. There. So let's go into our practice then, shall we? We've got about a good amount of time. Let's do this. So here's the deal. Here, first, a warning, not later. Please, with breath work, be careful. I'm not a breathwork coach, although that's a thing apparently. It's only something that I've been doing practically my entire spiritual path, at least as an adult. Once I got out of the house, once I moved to Boston, I discovered rebirthing. Leonard Orr, Sandra Ray, they're still around. They still teach. You can find them on YouTube. But I'm going to be doing kind of a melange of different breathing patterns, I'm sure divinely guided by them. Why? Because I'm surrendering my will to the divine. I'm going to ask them to breathe through me. But as we do this, kind of get that whatever breathing patterns I do, you have to do what's right for you. This isn't a competition. It's not a race. It's not like aerobics where I'm like showing you what to do with your breath. I did a lot of aerobics in the 80s. Step aerobics in the 90s as well. I just totally had big hair flashback. So big. It's clairvoyance for fun and profit. But do what's comfortable for you. Do what's right for you. And essentially the guides are just going to talk us through it. But I want you to think of it this way. The yin of the inhale is the goddess. You're breathing in the miracles. You're breathing in the grace. You're breathing in everything. The exhale is the yang, the surrender. And I can spit this out. There's just so much there. the blessing of the miracle moving through you, which is a blessing upon all of life. Do you see what I'm saying? It's that quantum aspect of it. You breathe in and integrate that miracle, that grace, that guidance, that light, that oxygen, whatever it is that you need, because we're given everything we need in every single inhale for that moment only, but for that moment, and we just keep breathing. The exhale is the surrender and sending those blessings out to all of life too, consciously or unconsciously. Cool. So that's why it kind of doesn't matter what the mind is doing while you're breathing, but sometimes it's fun to play along. You with me? Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. Good, 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 good. All right. Thank you for the space to talk about this stuff that's been rattling around in my head. See, I think what we need to do eventually, maybe once a week, is in the Facebook group, do an actual, because now they have the Facebook, I don't want to call it Zoom because it's not, it's a different company, but the where all of us, we could see each other's faces and we could chat, you know. Otherwise, I do spiritual counseling all one-on-one, but sometimes group work is fun. It just can get a little squirrely. So that's why I would never do it on YouTube. It's not private. At least in the YouTube, the Facebook group, it's private. Cool, cool. Good, good, good. Okay, everyone get comfy. Breathe, people, breathe. At a position you can stay in for a couple of minutes. And just breathe. And I want you to think about what your, loves calling it this, your X variable of the divine is. I surrender my will to the divine. What is that? What is that for you? You could try different things on as you go, of course. And you don't actually have to say it. I surrender my will to the divine. If you were, that would be the mantra on the exhale. So just focus on the breath. Being gently aware that you are breathing in miracles. You are breathing in chi. You are breathing in prana, life force, Reiki, the divine itself, your higher self. And as I have asked the divine to work through me in my prayer for surrender, allow your breath to be that vehicle of breathing in spirit. Breathing in everything that you need spiritually, energetically, vibrationally. Whether you know it or not. To surrender to that, just even to pretend. The surrender of playing along. Okay then. I'm breathing in everything I need. Known or unknown, seen or unseen. But then I'm also breathing out. Surrender. I'm giving over. I'm letting go. And that's not as passive as I think. It's the yin of the inhale. It's the yang of the exhale. Breathing in all I need. Breathing out all I don't. Surrendering to all I need. Surrendering my will to the divine. I breathe in all I need. I surrender my will to God. For example, I breathe in all I need. I surrender my will to Goddess. I breathe in all I need. I surrender my will to Spirit. I surrender my will to the universe. I surrender my will to all good. Spend a minute. It's with those simple things. The breath is focus, yet the breath as the medium. The prayer itself, the mantra itself, the breath as the miracle, the breath as the surrender. I surrender my will to the divine. 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 Let these last three be silent in the surrendering of the will to the divine. 3. 2. 1. Go into the silence. And breathe. I surrender my will to the divine. I surrender my will to the divine. Next mantra. Welcoming surrender. There is no problem, only destiny being revealed. Take a minute. I'm going to dive right back in. Don't have to be doing the Wim Hof breath either. Just say it on the exhale. Say it on the inhale too if you like. You do you. Right? Because there is no problem, only destiny being revealed. Let's welcome surrender. Breathe. There is no problem, only destiny being revealed. 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 Gonna do a bunch silent. Here we go on the exhale. Just keep that mantra going. I'll give you the countdown. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. There is no problem, only destiny being revealed. There is no problem, only destiny being revealed. Breathe. Oh, we've got one more. I think we can do it. Blessed breath, buzz. Oh, I need some water. We got one more. My choices determine how brightly I shine. I think we can handle it. Let's do this. Shall we? Get yourself ready. Last mantra, expressing free will, right? Willpower. Surrender your will to the divine. My choices determine how brightly I shine. So we surrendered our will to the divine. We welcomed surrender. It's no problem. It's destiny being revealed. And my choices determine how brightly I shine. I know it seems a little different each time we do it. That's what happens when you do it in the moment. When you go with the breath. Sorry, I just have to get. Look, I got my. I love that I'm doing this in cargo shorts. Breathe. Because my choices determine how brightly I shine. How deeply I bark. My choices determine how brightly I shine. 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 I'm going to do them silently for a bit. We're going to go. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. My choices determine how brightly I shine. My choices determine how brightly I shine. There's no problem. There's just destiny being revealed. I surrender my will to the divine. So let it be. And so it is. Take your time reorienting yourself. Wiggle fingers, wiggle toes. Don't rush. No rush. Stick a finger in a shot glass of salt. Oh, it's good. Oh, there we go. Plugged in. Too much, can't walk around with one of these. What? It's a salt shot. What? Just say hi so I know you're back in the room. My malcontents. My Mark Angels. My Mark Angels of Lyons. How you feel? I feel very surrendered. I feel like I'm going to surrender myself all the way upstairs, take out my contact lenses and surrender myself to the bed frame of the king-size bed and just like nesty plunge myself into sleep. It's an obscure reference nowadays. But that's okay, because I got a wand. It's my earth wand. Sturdy. Hi, we're all good. So, I think that concludes pretty much our Litha talk for tonight. But this feeling that I'm having right now is really that place of surrender. It is that lightness. So keep in mind what we talked about today, about surrendering your will to the divine, particularly with what we've got coming up this weekend. It just seems like an interesting, don't want to say it's a perfect storm, but it feels like astrologically it's a perfect storm. And I'm going to try and get enough sleep so I can be up in the morning so that we can talk about Mercury retrograde in the morning, because it does hit. It's, oh yeah, no, it hits at like something. Oh, right. It hits at 1 a.m. pretty much. Yeah, 12:59 a.m. Great. We've got 59 minutes from when I'm watching this. So wishing you the very best and the very blessed of the evening. Blessed Mercury retrograde. I love you all so much. Surrender your will to the divine, and I will talk to you in the morning, right? 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. But for now, my darlings, I love you. Farewell, and blessed be. Good night.